we have a lot to celebrate this episode. I'm really glad we're doing what we're doing because we just hit 1,000 followers on Instagram. We had our best week ever in listens. It was Christmas yesterday, and today is Boxing Day.
Oh, what? Sorry if this is a dumb question. What the hell is Boxing Day? I've heard it so many times, and I have no idea what it is.
It's not a dumb question at all because I had no idea, and then someone was like, "Hey, your next episode is going to be on Boxing Day," and I was like, "Oh, that's fun. We should talk about that. I should probably know what it is." Boxing Day is an English holiday where basically right after Christmas, they have the tradition of going to local churches and putting extra donation in the alms boxes that to be delivered to the poor. And literally started like hundreds of years ago. It was after, celebration with your family, take time to give back to the needy, which is super cool. Nowadays, it's it's like their Black Friday, shopping day, gambling day, and horse races. So lost a little bit of the idea there.
Yeah, I was going to say that took a sad turn for the horse.
But I think in Canada, there's still a big tradition of putting a lot of donations in the box and using that day to give back and donate. So it's cool. But I had no idea. So happy Boxing Day, everyone. And we have a lot to celebrate.
Yes, indeed. Happy Boxing Day.
Happy Boxing Day.
Welcome to Stop Wasting Your Wine, a wine review podcast where we waste our wine so you don't have to. On this episode, we review
a sparkling wine from France.
If you're new to the show, welcome in. If you're a returning listener, welcome back. My name is Colin, and I'm joined by two dudes who have never quit their New Year's resolution. Joel, Aaron, how we doing tonight? Oh, Joel's muted. Joel, we can't hear you.
Joel's never been on a
podcast before.
Zoom call or podcast before. He doesn't know how to unmute himself. It's embarrassing for you.
That just happened. I was just going to say, too, kicking this one off with a straight up lie for the listeners. That's awesome. Well done.
I did the fastest mental inventory possible to think, like, is that true? I have never followed through on my New Year's resolutions. I make it relatively far, I think.
I'm not going to say never, but like, I feel so, you're in the mood. You've had a couple of drinks. You feel like you can do anything. And then the next morning it's like, oh yeah, that was pretty bold. Let's give it a shot.
You know what? I'm going to say in the past like decade or so, I've been pretty good about setting resolutions about something I'm going to do rather than something I'm going to stop doing for like an extended period of time. So like my wife and I for the past 3 years have done like the Whole30 diet in the month of January. And, we're going to do it again this year, minus the no alcohol on my recording nights. I'm going to take that as a cheat night. You two are welcome. Thank you for that.
That would make for a very, very weird episode of this show.
I don't know. It smells like plums, but it tastes like someone help me out here. No, but like that's been something we've done for the past 3 years. And it's like the month of January, we're going to follow this thing. And then you get through it and you're like, I did this thing and that was hard. And now the other 11 months, I'm not killing myself.
Wow. That's a smart way to do it.
Yeah.
Have you guys had like a best resolution that you've done and you're proud of and you followed through?
Oh, man.
I don't really even set them anymore, to be honest. Because it's like, I feel like you should just always be trying to improve on yourself and having like one thing that you say on New Year's every year is not necessarily helpful for that goal.
I don't believe in the magic of a New Year's resolution, but I do believe in the power of like a starting point.
Sure.
I think starting points are like, it could easily be July 1st, or January 1st. Doesn't matter. It's just like the tradition of having that start. But I think a starting point is helpful.
All right. Well, I heard we're drinking some wine tonight. Aaron,
it's a celebration.
It is a celebration. We're drinking some more sparkling wine. Aaron, you wanna tell the folks at home what we're drinking?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I want to specify ahead of time that we have gotten away from the someone has to be pregnant tradition of this show.
For sure.
There's just too much good sparkling wine out there for us to limit it to when one of us have a baby. Yeah. Too many sparkling wines, not enough babies. So we are we're celebrating 1,000 followers. We're celebrating all the amazing listeners that we have on this podcast. We're celebrating the holidays. And so today we're celebrating with our Veuve Clicquot Champagne. We have the Brut yellow label. Now, we had to search this up, so this is just a fun fact to have. This particular champagne is made with 52% Pinot Noir, 30% Chardonnay, and 18% Meunier, obviously from the region of Champagne, which is why none of us get to yell at each other today for accidentally calling it champagne.
Yeah,
because it is actually champagne.
Say it as much as I want. Champagne.
Yeah, no one's gonna get mad. Thank God. It's not anything else. It is, in fact, champagne. It is an ABV of 12%. And much to my chagrin, in New Jersey, this guy will set you back about $55, which is far above what we normally spend on the show. But Joel is going to talk a little bit more about the why of that in a moment. But the folks down in the free state of Florida only had to pay $45 to $49 for this. So I don't know if it's because they ship this bad boy from France to Florida and that's the travel. I don't know why I'm getting the Jersey tax on this, but there was a surprising difference in price if you got this in Jersey or Florida. And obviously this is the non-vintage because we ain't ballers.
We get all the classiest things here in Florida. We're
We do. Yeah, that's
very
right.
classy state.
So that's what we're drinking. I think I pronounced everything correctly. Colin, back to you.
Great.
And I think this is an interesting wine because it's so much more expensive than the wine that we usually buy. So you almost have to give it a deeper level of scrutiny because we've been drinking some decent wine at some lesser prices. And, if you buy a $3 Tetra Pak and you hate it, fine. You can throw that away and not feel bad about buying a $3 Tetra Pak. If you buy a $50 bottle of wine and not like it, like that, for a lot of people is a pretty significant investment into a bottle of wine. So it'll be interesting to see if at this elevated price point, this wine, it really is worth its weight.
And I'm really excited we picked the most cost effective, most financially responsible time of year to invest more money in the alcohol that we're drinking. Tons of loose change sitting around my house this Christmas time with my 3-year-old and 6-year-old.
Absolutely. No, I know it's yes, that aspect is in there, but if I could speak to why this was my choice of wine,
please do.
Just share a little bit about why. I think a couple of reasons. Number one, like you said earlier, Aaron, we've got a lot to celebrate this year. So to me, if you're listening to this when it comes out or soon after it comes out, you may be getting ready to get into the New Year's spirit. And I know I always look forward to it. And I think such a fun time, it deserves something that's worth drinking. So a little bit of a go big sort of a thing for this one. Also, I think as far as champagne goes, it's an elevated price point, but it's very accessible. Everybody has this around. I mean, Colin and I picked this up at the grocery store.
Yeah, for sure.
So, it's available to everybody. It's a pretty popular, kind of trendy champagne right now. So, I kind of want to see if it's, going to hold up to you guys. Full transparency. Another reason that I wanted us to try this one is because my wife and I took a trip out to Reims, and this is one of the champagne houses that we visited on one of our anniversary trips. And, it was just such a lovely experience. I'm not in any way, shape, or form saying that this is, the best champagne, but it was one of the things that it was a really special moment for my wife and I, and it was one of the things that really kind of set me off in my direction of exploring more wine in general. So yeah, I want to share it with you guys, see what you think, and then see if we could maybe interest some of our listeners in trying Veuve Clicquot if they have not yet.
Well, if you're confused about why I'm the host or did the intro this episode, it's because we have a special treat today. And instead of me doing the one thing that you'll learn segment, Joel is actually going to take this segment as he's been out to the champagne house. He's our resident Veuve expert. So I'm going to throw it.
Vexpert.
Okay. It took me a minute, but yeah, okay. That's kind of funny. Yeah, going to throw it over to Joel to learn something.
This is the only thing you will learn.
Hey, awesome. So excited. Looking forward to it. Yes. And, as I mentioned, been out there, drank the wine. So I thought it'd be kind of fun. Instead of learning a little bit of something today, we're going to play a little game called Fact or Fiction. Here's how this is going to work. I've got 5 statements. I'm going to read aloud each statement about Veuve Clicquot. Aaron and Colin, you're both going to tell me whether you think that that statement is fact or fiction. If at the end of the 5 questions there is a tie, I am prepared for a tiebreaker.
Nice.
And I sort of hope that we have a tie because the tiebreaker question is pretty awesome.
Oh, wow.
Do we understand?
Yes.
Okay.
Aaron, pay.
Wait, you said there's 5 questions, and
Yes.
if there's a tie, there's a 6th question.
No, we can.
Yeah, but you both are answering each
we both
question.
answer.
Joel, how is there a
Okay, so-
tie after 5 questions?
If you both get all 5 questions correct, there's a tie. You both
so
get
there's-
to say answers.
both- Got it. Okay.
Yeah, and for the listener at home, Aaron lost the last trivia game by not listening to the question.
Oh, I'm just too busy panicking.
All right. No, this is going to be a fun one. You don't have to know anything about wine or anything. There's just interesting stuff about Veuve Clicquot. Okay, so here we go. We'll start with an easy one. Going to be fun. Let's do this. Fact or fiction? Veuve Clicquot invented the dosage method. Colin?
Fiction, locking it in.
Aaron?
I'm going to say fiction.
You are correct. All right, question number 2. Veuve Clicquot invented the riddling table.
I'm gonna let Aaron go first because I feel like he's just gonna copy all my answers if we don't
I
switch
was.
up.
I was.
Yeah,
that,
I know.
That was my strategy.
Yeah. Okay. So you go first on this.
Aaron?
True. Fact.
Aaron says true. I'm gonna say fiction on this.
The answer is absolute fact.
Oh,
Veuve
Alright.
Clicquot
that's really cool.
invented the riddling table. And if listener at home, if you're not sure what that is, if you've ever seen kind of A-frame, almost sandwich board looking tables where it's got the slots for champagne bottles sitting in there, that's the riddling table. Used because throughout the method, all the sediment would kind of settle if you didn't twist it and move it. So it made it a lot easier for people to go in, do a quick little quarter turn every so often, and keep it from all settling. Fact or fiction? The exile of Napoleon bolstered Veuve Clicquot's popularity and success. Colin.
I'm gonna say true. That is a fact.
Aaron.
I feel like that has to be true, right? Because why else would true?
You can go ahead and say true. It's totally true. Does it not blow your mind that
That is go.
Napoleon was something that Veuve Clicquot had to think about and what was happening to him in the time?
That is awesome.
And she strategically planned having lots of champagne ready to go into Russia after the embargoes were taken down to sell a whole bunch of champagne and be like the first one that all of Russia was into. That's mind-blowing.
Very cool.
That's mind-blowing.
That's amazing.
That's a great fact.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
That's a great fact.
Love it.
I was like, it had to be true because there's no way Joel just sat here and was like, I'm going to relate this to Napoleon and see if they fall for it.
Yeah, you saw right through me. Question number 4.
Great fact.
Fact or fiction? Veuve Clicquot originally founded an olive oil pressing company because the French wine community did not think women could successfully run a champagne house. Fact or fiction?
Aaron.
I'm gonna say it's fiction. I'm gonna say it's one of these questions where part of this is true, but the details are slightly off.
Interesting theory.
I'm gonna go with fact, just because that sounds like it would absolutely be something that would be true.
That is 100% fiction.
Oh God.
100% fiction. Though, and Aaron, you were somewhat right in that it was a little bit of a misleading question because when her husband, who was the son of the person that started or at the time, Clicquot or whatever, when he died, they wanted the then Veuve Clicquot, widow Clicquot, to give up the business, but she said no, and she kept it going, and she took ownership and led it on to the success that it was, but much to the chagrin of all the people around her. And she was one of the first French female business owners.
Man, that's cool. This has been awesome so far, Joel.
Really? You think so?
I do think so.
Very cool set of
It's
facts.
interesting stuff.
Very cool.
Interesting stuff. Okay. Fact or fiction? Despite its orange tint, the flagship wine is called Yellow Label because when viewed with candlelight, it looked yellow.
Fact.
Dun, dun, dun.
Aaron?
Fact.
That is indeed a fact. Indeed a fact. If you are not familiar as well, there is a giant at the Veuve Clicquot Champagne House, a giant cave, system of caves, really, you should say, And so that's where they would, store and make all of their champagne. It was perfect conditions for making champagne. And this is the 1800s. So folks were down there with candles, doing the riddling, tending to the bottles. With the candlelight and kind of the hint and hue of candlelight, the labels would look yellow. So it became known as the yellow label, despite if you're taking a look at it, it's really kind of an orangey color.
Yeah, this is very cool. This is very cool. And I now very much want to go to Veuve Clicquot
awesome.
and see this stuff.
See, these are the things that got me and my wife like super jazzed about just champagne and wine and all the crazy stuff that's out there with all this history. Okay, last one. Fact or fiction? A case of Veuve Clicquot was found in a shipwreck and subsequently consumed.
Yeah, I think you go first on this one, right?
Fact.
I feel like is this one of the ones that yes, it was found in a shipwreck, but not subsequently consumed. Like I don't.
I can't tell you.
Yeah,
I can't tell you the answer.
I think I'm playing with house money at this point.
Yeah,
so
it doesn't matter. I'm going fiction.
Man, this one is totally fact, if you can believe it. And interestingly enough, in 2010, a shipwreck was discovered off the coast of Finland. And within that shipwreck, a case of Veuve Clicquot, 200 years old. They brought it up and tried it. Well, they sold most of them. They tried one, and it was like it was meant to be. A little bit different from what we experience now because they were making it to the tastes of the time, which was a little bit sweeter.
Sure.
But it was as though it had just been bottled the other day because the pressure and the cold of the depth just was the perfect environment.
Nothing could escape. Like there was no...
Exactly.
Yeah.
So cool.
Exactly.
That's incredible.
Pretty
So
wild,
cool.
is it not? And then, so there you go. And by the way, Aaron, complete sweep. 6 correct answers.
That was embarrassing.
Colin, you're 3.
Yeah.
So there you go. What's interesting about this, though, 0 wine knowledge necessary to do well in this
Yeah,
game.
like I was like, all this shows I'm really good at guessing. Really good at like process of elimination and knowing how Joel thinks. That's all it is.
That's true. You can read me like a book.
I know Aaron destroyed me, but you said you had a really fun tiebreaker. You want to go over the tiebreaker anyway?
We can do this for funsies. You want to do this for funsies?
Oh, I thought that was the last one. No?
No, I have a tiebreaker, and it's a great question. So we'll do it just for fun. This is just for bragging rights, but we'll see who can get closest to the pin here, okay? I mentioned those bottles of wine that were discovered. At auction, tell me how much in U.S. dollars you think one bottle of that recovered Veuve Clicquot 200-year-old was sold for. U.S. dollars.
I'm going to say $270,000.
Wow. I was going to say $250,000. So that's crazy. That was the first number.
Are we playing Price is Right rules? What are we doing?
Well, you guys
2699999.
I'll tell you, if we're playing
We
Price
way
is
off?
Right, you both are going home way empty-handed. You guys are way over. So I guess this isn't as ridiculous as you might.
Okay, can we reset and try again?
I don't. I mean, it's already out there, my man. What do you want to do? Oh, you want to just knowing
I
that.
just want to see if we can get there. Like, let's get
I'll
there.
allow it. We're gonna do one more.
Call.
Technically, Colin won that one. We'll do one more. Just
I mean,
you
give
know
Colin the point. Doesn't matter. I have points to give. But
No, we can do it. Let's do it. Give me another guess. Each of you go.
75,000.
Okay.
115,000.
Okay. Well, Colin wins twice. $39,000. $39,000 for
okay.
one
Whoa.
bottle.
I thought there'd be at least some Elon Musky, jerk out there that's gonna spend way too much on this stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
You
No,
would think
I guess
so.
if you don't know it's gonna taste like crap, then you're just like, meh.
No, people spend outrageous amounts of money on really, really old wine. So that's why I went originally with 200,000
yeah,
because that's such a unique
Yeah.
story. I thought they would have
yeah, same.
more so about the story, but it's super interesting. Thank you so much, Joel. That was a lot of fun.
Seriously, man, well done.
Yep.
Oh, hey, thank you. Oh my gosh, too
we
kind.
learned something about Veuve, and now I think we should get into the wine. So let's take a sniff.
Tastes like wine.
Alrighty, let's go, Joel. Since this is your episode, I'm gonna let you go first. What are you smelling?
Lots of citrus in there. More citrus forward than bready or anything like that. There's a little bit of that in there, but for the most part, fruit forward.
Yes, it is. Aaron?
Yeah, same. Nothing much to add there. I think I don't know. I feel like in like a real deep inhale. Like I get a little bit more of that breadiness there, but yeah, very, very, very fruit forward, very citrusy was the first thing I was going to say as well.
Yeah, citrusy for sure. A lot of lemon, and then maybe some lime in there too. And then I also get a little bit of green apple.
Yeah, was just gonna say that big time.
Yep, green apple, and then a little bit of pear too. It's a very green fruit driven wine.
Interesting.
A little bit of pear, and then you're right, a little bit of that breadiness on the back end.
Smells like New Year's Eve, baby. That's what it is. Just
Right?
That's
got
right.
that. It's got that. It's just bringing in the holidays.
For sure.
Got that Christmas smell.
All right. But anything else to add, anybody? Nope. Let's go ahead and give it a taste. Aaron.
This tastes like if you put orange juice in this, I'm punching you in the face.
Okay.
Wow.
Sure.
That's high praise. I love that. Yeah.
Okay.
No, but honestly though, a lot of those citrusy flavors. I think although the green apple comes out like the most of like less of the lemon lime kind of flavor and more of the green apple comes out in the front for sure. Yeah.
Joel.
Man, it's funny that you say that because I'm still like lemon and lime right there. Definitely with, in my opinion, the pear and a little bit softer green apple like back and kicker, but like first sip to me is straight lemon and lime, and even the acidity, man, I feel it just in the sides of my mouth.
The acidity's
going
huge.
Immediately.
Yeah. Screaming acidity. Yeah.
Oh
yeah. It's funny you said front and back. Like that's actually, I need to think about that as I take another sip. So you're right. There's like the front taste, the front of your tongue taste. You're right. It's very like citrusy lemon lime, and then like the back of the palate taste, which is more like apple.
You know what's funny? I get a little bit more of the bready on the back as I let it kind of go. That's where I'm picking up the brioche, the toastiness towards the end.
Definitely. Yeah. No, I agree. I don't think I have too much to add there as far as flavor notes are concerned, but I agree. You get that breadiness almost after the sip, and then just a ton of citrus, and the acid is just ripping. It's crazy, the acid. All right, cool. Well, we've sniffed it, we've tasted it. Now let's see what we think about it.
Yeah, but did they like it? It's time for the review.
I'll go ahead. I'm going to do, since it's Joel's episode, I'm going to give him the last word. And Aaron, what do you think?
All right. I'm gonna be a little bit controversial right now, I think.
Oh.
I like it. It is a yummy champagne. I think the point of this show is to find quality wines at a lower affordable price point. That is to demonstrate that you don't need to break the bank to enjoy a good wine. I like this. It's tasty. I don't know if I'd say it's like so much better than the Chandon that we had that I would spend the additional $30. The Cava that we got that was like 17 wasn't great. We kind of called it mimosa sparkling wine, but like I think sometimes we taste a wine that has like the gap in the price makes sense. I think this is a jump. I think you're paying $30 extra for the yellow label. Colin, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. It's a little disappointing, to be honest. If I'm paying $45, I want some complexity, and this is just...
Or $55 if you're in New Jersey.
Yeah, so $45 to $50. And it's like Aaron said, it's not bad wine, but it's very simple. For $50, I really was expecting a couple more flavors on the palate. The flavors that are there are nice. Again, it's not bad. I was expecting a little more oomph out of this wine. So, it's definitely not a drain wine by any stretch of the imagination, but I would say it's a backup wine. I kind of agree with Aaron. For the price, I'm going with the Chandon. I think I'd rather have that at $18 than this at $45. So, I'm thinking I'm putting this one in the closet, and I think it's a value thing. It's just not worth the price.
I mean, man, I think this is a place, and Joel is starting to write stuff down.
Joel's taking notes.
I'm really struggling right now because it's good, but like episode I think 3 we talked about the Tensley, which wasn't bad, but it was $30, and we were like, you can get a similar wine for $18, and we said it was a waste because it wasn't worth spending that amount of money. And I'm feeling really weird because I don't want to say Veuve Clicquot is a waste.
Well, where are you going to put it first before we get into whether or not it's a waste? Where are you going to put it? Because Joel hasn't even put it somewhere yet. So where are you putting this?
I don't know. I want to put it in my mouth. Like, I don't know. It's weird. It's good. It's like it's a good one. It tastes good. I just hate that I spent $55 on it. So I mean, no, Gossi, if I have it, how about this? I'm gonna say it this way: if it's already in my possession, I'm putting it on the kitchen table. It has appeared in my hands. The box has manifested itself. It's on the kitchen table.
Okay, Aaron. Follow-up question: you paid for it. Where are you putting it?
It's still on the kitchen table. I still think it is a good champagne. Like, I'd still be happy to put it out. No one's going to be upset about it. I think the value of the cost of the champagne does not change where I put it. I put it on the kitchen table.
There's a couple of things that I would like to address at this point, if I may.
The listener at home, Joel has a pad of paper and a pen out.
Let's hear it, Joel.
A couple of things I'd like to address. Number one, Veuve Clicquot will always have a special place in my heart for the aforementioned reasons. One of the reasons is that it set me off on a champagne appreciation journey where I discovered that there are better champagnes. 100%.
Joel's trying to win the hearts and minds of the people right now.
I've been workshopping this in my head, but here's the thing about it. So yes, there are I think less expensive bottles of champagne that hold up, and even sparkling wine that would hold up, and you could compare to this and go to toe to toe. There's more expensive as well that are better. Absolutely. Like this is not the end all be all of champagne, folks. This is just a very popular one, and one that I think everybody should have as sort of a benchmark. You guys saying that this is like Chandon though? Whoa, now let's hold up. In my opinion, this is way more refined than Chandon. It's a lot crisper in my opinion. I will agree though, like you said, Colin, it could be, I would expect it to be doing more and to be offering something additional than it is. Because I think like even our when we were talking about it, our reviews are pretty quick, right?
Right.
Lemon and lime, citrus, pear, acid.
Not a lot of complexity.
Cool.
You've had in-depth conversations about wines, and this review was real fast.
This isn't a thinker. This is a celebration wine. This is a part of why I'm bringing this somewhere is because it's a fancy option, and I want to have spent a little bit to bring somewhere, and it's going to be good. People are going to like it. There's better champagnes out there. Having said all of that, this is not an everyday wine in my opinion, but to me, I'm putting this squarely on the kitchen table again because kind of for all those reasons. I think it's a solid champagne. It's one that you're bringing around for a special occasion, and part of what you're doing is that right there, baby, is that label and kind of showing that off. So you're right, from a stop wasting your wine point of view and a straight wine perspective might be a little bit different of a scale, but that's where I am and that's what I'm sticking to.
So here's the tricky part.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here we are, people. This is it. This is where it gets hard. This is where friends become enemies and enemies become friends.
Oh, this might be my last episode.
You promised it 27. No, because I did not put in the closet. I would feel weird about putting in this closet. Someone would open my closet and they would find a box wine and some weird shit, and they'd be like, "Is that a bottle of Veuve Clicquot back there? Like, what are we doing?" So I'm not putting it in my closet. But I'm gonna say it's a waste of your wine. It's a waste of your wine. It's a waste of your wine.
Wow.
I'm gonna say it's a waste of your wine. I'm gonna say it's a waste of your wine because I'm gonna say, if you're gonna buy it specifically to like go to a New Year's Eve party, to show it off, to have the label, and you want to spend $45 to $55 on this, depending on what side of the country you're on, fine. It's everyone's gonna be happy. It's gonna be okay. Great. I think if you are someone who likes to drink champagne at home and you want to have a sparkling wine at home, this is a waste of your wine. You're not trying to impress anybody with the label. We should make this our mission. I think we can find a better champagne or sparkling wine for less than $55. So I'm gonna say it's a waste of your wine.
So I'll say this: for if you want an entry level champagne, because that's what this is. Champagne, you're not gonna find any less expensive than this. And I'm talking champagne. I'm not talking sparkling wine. This is not a waste. This is a really good entry level champagne. Is this a really good entry level sparkling wine compared to some of the other ones at $55? I would say this is a waste. And I know I'm kind of splitting hairs there, but like I think when you look
We're all splitting hairs.
Yeah, when you look at it from that vantage point. If you really want to try champagne and you want to go out and you don't want to spend a ton of money, absolutely try this one, because you're not going to be disappointed. It's not bad wine, right? Like I'm saying, it's not bad wine. But in the pantheon of sparkling wine, I would not buy this over a probably less expensive sparkling wine that I could maybe get from California that might taste better for less. So that's where I fall on this. Joel?
Pantheon of wine is what I'm going to name my wine store in a couple of years when I open. You guys got me thinking about some other sparkling wines and even champagnes that I've had in similar and greater price points. I won't say smaller, but similar and greater price point. And there are better champagnes. There's no doubt about it. It might not be the right and most objective lens to have on it, but I am going to, full transparency, keep my lens of trying a very popular and like everything we said, popular, accessible, a little trendy for sure, but very well-known champagne, and giving it a go. And with that lens, I'm going to say that it is not a waste of your wine. It might not be a go-to, a common one that I'm going to go grab, but I think if you're going to go out and you're interested in it, you've seen it around, and you, like you said, Colin, it is an intro to champagne. If you want to give it a go, I think it's worth it.
I agree.
Give it a go, make it a benchmark, enjoy it, because I think you will enjoy it, and then see where it takes you from there. Not a waste.
I love that it means something for you specifically. And
I'm trying to look through my bias.
No,
and I know there's a little bit of that coming through, and I'm sorry,
proud of you.
listener.
But that's okay. Like, I think that's part of what makes wine so cool, is that you can associate those special experiences with a bottle of wine or with a place like that. So that's really cool. So like, if that's your thing, like, keep drinking it. Like, it's not bad wine. It's not bad wine. So that's how I'll end it there.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
All right. Very good. Well, I think that wraps it up. But I'll probably let Aaron do the social media thing again, unless, Joel, you're really itching to get in there. You wanna get
Joel,
in?
you itching?
You itching, Joel? I know you love it.
I'm itching.
You got
I
the
do
itch?
love it.
Okay.
I do love
All
it.
right.
I
All
feel like I'm good at it now. Hey, we mentioned, by the way, at the beginning of this, part of why we wanted to do some bubbles today, just a celebration of a lot of great growth that we've had on social media lately, a lot of great engagement, and we're just so happy. Thank you all so much for being a part of that. If you have not checked us out, please do, at Stop Wasting Your Wine on Instagram. Check us out on stopwastingyourwine.com. Again, come check out all the reviews we've ever done, see where we've placed everything. Maybe find a bottle to try tonight. And then also check us out on our Facebook. Again, Colin really wants that to happen. What are we up to?
We got 9 people in there now. Yeah.
9 followers. Let's get, I feel like we can get to 12 by our next episode.
That'd be huge.
By the new year.
Yeah.
I think that'd be great. So let's do that. And thanks so much. Keep on listening.
I want to echo Joel's sentiment, especially to the listeners. You guys are the ones who really matter. We really appreciate you guys tuning in every week, and we look forward to a new exciting year of content to come. So thank you very much for listening, and we will see you guys next week.
Absolutely. See you then. And remember, stop wasting your wine.
Bye.
Bye, all.